Alright folks, welcome to another Modern League. And now 100% more playable than before. This is the second League of the day. First we tried a normal amulet list. Was my first try at playing some Primeval Titans again. And for the second league we're going to be trying my starting point for Karn. This is a list that features 4 copies of Karn the Great Creator. In consequence, of course, it also features some ancient steerings. I'm choosing to be slightly more greedy than in previous lists. We're gonna see whether this works out or not, but we're going with 28 lands. Of course, no more Field of the Dead anymore, but we still have Crumbling Vestige, we have our Castle Garen Brig, Colony Garden making a resurgence, of course, good old Colony, now that Field is gone, this is gonna be a way of protecting ourselves. Anima 27 with a 2, what's up? Welcome to the Pine Stronghold, Anima. Really appreciate you being here. No bad matchups indeed. I'm also being a little bit greedy in terms of the bounce lands that I'm playing. I know I'm only playing 1 Turf, 2 Sanctuaries, and the Borders Garrison. I would really like to find room for 1 more bounce land exactly. I don't know what I'm gonna cut for it. It probably might need to be a Misty Rainforest, but like with the 3 steerings, things might be okay. But yeah, I definitely would like to have access to the 9th bounce land, and the same thing goes for the list that we just played. So besides that, we're doing 3 Dryads, 2 Asusas, and everything else is pretty straightforward coming from the list that I top 8'd the showcase with. The only other thing that I'm switching is I'm going with a split of Scout and Gracer, mostly because I just don't know what the meta is going to be looking like, so I'm hedging a little bit by doing that split. On this side we have Bujuki Bob, Cavern of Souls, and we have Dismembers, Reclamation Sage, Force of Vigor, and Obstinate Baloth. These are my actual sideboard cards, and then the rest of it is mixes of a sideboard, an actual sideboard card, and the rest is just, of course, my card package. So you're going to see that I have Tormod Script, Biting Needle, Liquid Metal Coating, Wormcoil Engine, Ballista, a 2nd copy of Explosives, and Ensnare Bridge. This is a card that I don't particularly love in Amulet specifically because I don't think it combos very well with bounce lands and 6-drops and, you know, cards that say you lose the game. But I think that the best decks in the format right now are going to be a mixture of Shadow and Humans decks and like aggro decks like that. So I wanted to have a card that actually targets those decks in an efficient manner. So we're gonna see whether it works out. I'm definitely not sold on it. I'm definitely not sold on the list even, but we're gonna see how it works. Actually kind of difficult. Amulet is back. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult than what we were playing before. But yeah, Draken, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Coming back for the 6 months. Really appreciate it. Welcome back. No Turn Timber. I literally just played a league with Turn Timber. I heard they unbanned Modern as a format. That's true, Danny. It was unbanned. It was unbanned. Lance and Karn, the most interactive of decks. Exactly. What else do you want? Feel like we won 2nd Valakut. How many games have you played? Because I've played many games with a list like this, and playing 1 Valakut has always felt fine to me. How did the last league go? Let's say that it went pretty well. You can find how it went on Twitter. Just posted about it. Been running 3rd EE over Bridge, so I could bring in 2 EE main deck post board. It's been really solid. Yep, that's another. I was playing 3 EEs in the previous list, so definitely something that I like personally. Having 3 copies of Explosives is great. This hand has a lot of top hand and no way to get there, so we're gonna ship it. This hand, we're on the draw. I just cannot resist. I cannot resist, chat. I know, it's like a problem. No, I think this hand is okay. Symbolic is kind of training wheels, but does come up with some lethal lines. It does come up every now and then. Okay, playing against humans. Something that I kind of expected would happen. So no surprises here. Giamakos, thank you for that follow. So our best draw is Barnon, a bounce land. Any green bounce land does it. Still best draw bounce land. Could we see some tier 2, 3 decks like Boggles got to tier 1 in the new meta? Yeah, 100%. Stuff like that kind of has to happen in a way. I don't think those decks specifically, because I think Boggles is going to go back to being unplayable, but... What do you think about Blast Zone for humans? Shadow, it's bad against Amulet though. I think Blast Zone is not a good card in Amulet decks. Period. I would always rather have access to Engineered Explosives. And with us being a tier 1 deck, of course, that gets even more exacerbated. Very powerful draw from opponent. These are the kind of draws that make humans feel like it's almost just busted. Obviously, we didn't find the green source, but we're just too far behind at that point. So that looks good so far. Blast Zone is better versus Melee Mage, but that's about it. Usually by the time you get to Blast Zone Melee Mage, you're dead. So I don't think it's very good against Melee Mage. Blast Zone is exactly good against the card Death Shadow. And even still, it is 4 mana and sacrificing a land to... 4 mana and a land drop to get rid of a shadow, while Explosives does that for only 3 mana. Not bringing in Worm. I don't want to bring in a card that is going to get bounced by a Reflector Mage, right? And leave no value behind. Oh, oh no. Oh, damn it, we got paired. I was playing Hornet Queen in the other list. And now we finally get paired against Human. Man. I was so ready to cast Hornet Queen again. It's been years since I've cast the Hornet Queen. Okay, I guess I'll have to wait. So the ban went through already. What happened to people already in a league? I think that you get to finish your league, and after that you get dropped. Like if you don't finish your league by whatever time, I don't know which time, you get dropped. And you get your money back. 100% win rate with Hornet Queen so far. That's a way to put it. That's a way to put it. Did I again forget to hit submit? I could have sworn that I hit submit. Whatever. Weird hand, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm just saying, in this matchup, they mage my EE most times. They always have to. Yeah, but my point still stands, right? Which is, you play your Blast Zone, you spend that turn or the next turn to uptake it, and then you just died because your opponent just rushed you. So it's not like I don't understand what you're telling me. I do. I'm just explaining to you why in practice it just doesn't work as cleanly as you're making it seem like. Am I bouncing Fountain here? Obviously, I fucked up if I was gonna bounce Fountain, but I guess I don't. They could have their own Dismember, though, which is kind of what scares me a little bit. They don't. I kind of want to develop my mana here, though. No green source is rough, for sure. I guess we're taking it to Luria West. Am I crazy for being sad about the field and ban? I'm also sad about the field ban, but I am happier overall about the entire changes in the format. Like I obviously don't love that field was banned. Like field was great in Amulet and it killed Green Reclaimer basically straight up. But at the same time, like the changes to Modern are going to be very, very positive overall, I think. Yeah, here's Reflector Mage. Yeah, it was just like a cost that we had to incur in. That's just what it is. So I guess am I gonna play Ensnare Bridge here? Like I obviously don't want to use this member to kill this guy when I'm afraid of Meddling Mage, right? Shit. I guess I'm just gonna have to. I just need to give them something to interact with, I guess. Should delete the fairy from Modern? Nah, I think that now that with all the changes that happened, I think that the fairy is going to be a lot less good than it was. I'm gonna have to get rid of this eventually, right? So take 5 here. Now we land into Dryad. Dryad fixes our mana. This guy can't attack anymore now. Spirit Guide Band surprised you? Yeah, I mean, it's not the craziest thing ever, but it does feel a little bit weird. Okay, so now the now the champion can't attack. Sweet. little bit of a misstep there from opponent, unless they actually have an answer to the bridge, which I guess is technically possible. Or they could have another Reflector Mage, I guess. Okay, there you go. They did have an answer to the bridge. So I think I'm just taking 5 here. Because if I dismember and my opponent just goes... if I dismember and my opponent second main faces a Meddling Mage, we actually lose. And now we just win thanks to Valakut. How did the first league go? Well. First league went well. mana. Stefano Vanoni, thank you for the follow. Yes, I know I could lethal here. This is rico. Am I killing that already? Yes, I am. Now I'm just facing you. This is just garbage time, obviously. Can we unleash Highbind now? No, I don't think Highbind is ever gonna go back to being playable, unfortunately. Surprised we haven't played against Heliod just yet. Honestly, Heliod seems like it will be one of the best decks in the format to me. Poor opponent, this is just horrible. Don't worry about it, Scott. Our deck just got something banned, so it's okay. With company or mono white? With company. Yeah, I just think that it's just very well positioned against the other tier 1 decks as well. So it kind of has a lot going for it. There you go. How do I replace Field of the Dead? You can see the list. You can always check out the list if you hit exclamation point deck. So, pretty good interaction, but overall a pretty slow hand. Am I keeping this on the draw? I do like keeping interactive hands on the draw specifically, so I guess I'm gonna keep this. But if my opponent comes out of the gates a little bit too quickly, of course they're gonna just run me over. Just gonna drop on explosives here. We can crack this next turn if we have to, as an effectively a time walk, or we can just steerings and just do nothing, which is another option. Blue white for melee mage. Okay. Remember a time before Field and Titan was pretty good then, so it recency would be good after Field is gone. I mean, the rest of the format has gotten upgrades, right? Like the rest of the format has gotten a lot of upgrades. So it's not unreasonable for people to think that Amulet is just not playable anymore. I think that it's a little bit overstated, but Name Dryad. Okay. This is the turn I'm going to take to do some steering sing. We do have second blue. We could take this as an untap source. Yeah, I guess we're taking forest as an untap source. I don't think I'm interested in Dryad just yet. If we had either Castle or Bounce Land here, I would take either one of those, but since we didn't get it, I'm just gonna take a forest. Next turn, we can probably just Azusa and hit our line drops. If we find any other untapped source, we can crack explosives if we need to. This is looking just fine for me though. Opponent, are you over there? Maybe yes, maybe not. There we go. Opponent found themselves. And this is what I like about just like running the explosives there for one. It's because my opponent is kind of put in a weird spot where they can't develop their mana, really. That freeboot is pretty bad for us, but like also, like this is not naming prime time, so it's kind of okay. I'm curious what non-amulet list pop up. Red, green, white, reclaimer. The deck was so much fun. Yeah, gonna miss green, white for sure. 3 mana. Magus of the Moon. Ah, it's a fucked up one. Very happy that I got a basic forest. So I guess none of us can cast spells now. So if we find a Dismember, we're probably gonna win. We have 4 turns to find a Dismember, because this obviously locks my opponent out as much as it locks me. So if we find Dismember, we're probably gonna win here. We can also find Ballista wins, Ensnaring Bridge also wins. I guess Ensnaring Bridge doesn't straight up win, but it slows things down a lot. So we have a lot of options here. Well, that stops my opponent's attacks, so that's not bad. I'm gonna get a forest, and I guess we're getting like a growth chamber. Take one. Yeah, we can't cast right. So we have 6 turns. Sad face. So I guess we just chill here. If I attack, obviously my opponent then has good attacks, so probably not where I want to be doing. That sucks. We got some turns. We got some turns. So I guess that explains why my opponent went for the named Dryads. Okay, so now this member is not an out anymore. We're totally going to draw this member right now. Ensnaring Bridge also doesn't do it. So at this point we're in Ballista or Bust territory. Bust Lista. Hey. Ballista or Bust. Grazer. Yeah, we do have Grazers. So this would have been very good. This would have been game winning. This would have been game winning. but that's kind of about it. Like, we didn't really have that many options. Didn't really have that many alternatives. So, all right, Amulet can lose, folks. I know. Amulet can actually lose. Disappointing. Disappointing. All right, let's do this. Okay. Do I need to transmute for Ballista? Yeah, there was a meddling mage in play. So this is turn 3, Dryad into Steerings. Just kind of nice. This is Unlimited Not Chief. We finally have a good format. We finally have a good format, Chief. Can you believe that? You saved Modern, Chief. For those of you that don't know, Chief saved Modern. He truly is the people's champ. Opponent moves to 6 and then pass the turn. Ursa's mine. Ursa's yours, opponent. No one believed that you would get it all banned. Good job, Chief. It was all you. It was all you, baby. Now on to the real question. Is my opponent playing a good version of Tron, or is my opponent playing an Eldrazi Tron? There was definitely an argument for taking Glorious there, but my opponent's playing Tron, right? So I don't think I'm gonna have time to go transmute for a bounce land to then do the thing next turn. Like, I think that I just have to find something right now. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do enough stuff. Tron is the good Tron though? Yeah, sure. Torpor Orb. We do get to kill this here, which is kind of nice. Unfortunate. Unfortunate that we couldn't find a land there. Itchum is only good when Yama plays it. Many times that Yama has played it, it's been bad. Do you keep track of your record against G-Tron and E-Tron? No, but it's very good. I can tell you that it's very good. Am I getting slow rolled here? Just curious which is a better matchup. I would say that Eldrazi Tron. Eldrazi Tron's nut draw is a lot more beatables than E-Trons, than G-Trons, sorry. Why is my opponent taking forever to do this? Like, just make plays at random, opponent, you have won. Okay. Why is my opponent taking a million to... Anyway, that took a lot longer than it should have. Yeah, I know that Sage doesn't work with Torpor, but I have to have answer to fetchable, pactable answers to sometimes Ensnare Bridge and sometimes Liquid Metal Coating and stuff like that. Oblivion Stone. Why only one Valakut now? Because I like casting my spells. In fact, this Ghost Quarter should probably be in the sideboard, and I should be playing another green bounce land. This list is definitely on the greedy side of things. Sounds pretty good though. Unban the Lattice. Nah, we're fine. We're fine with Lattice being banned. So what are we planning to play instead of field? Does anyone know? You can literally just do exclamation point deck and you can see what I'm doing. I think this is a turn 1 amulet hand. It's bad against Nature's Claim specifically. But this guarantees I get to just affinity my hand into play next turn. Well, that's kind of tempting. That's way too tempting, in my opinion. Would have loved to see someone advance in this announcement, but I can't complain. It's okay. Gotta appreciate it for what it is. I think overall it was a great announcement. So at this point I don't really need the mana anymore. But I don't want for my opponent to go Karn plus. At the same time, I don't want my opponent to be able to go Karn minus. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play this lance right here. And then I'm going to pass without playing my Stacy. So even if they play Karn Liberated, if they minus on the amulet, we can still play Titan. If they plus, we can still play Titan. Does this mean we can play Sakama again? No, we can never ever play Sakama ever again. Just kidding, you can do whatever you want. Face. There must be space for Mammoth. No. Why do you want Mammoth? Sure, I'm gonna keep this hand. I've definitely felt the loss of a bounce land, so we're definitely gonna be doing that, I think. So Ghost Quarter to the board for second copy of Gruul Turf. I'm gonna keep this hand anyway, but I'm definitely feeling like I'm missing something. This is a turn to Azusa hand though, and then any 2 lands or Vesuva gives me Titan on 3. And opponent mulligans down to 4. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Fine pick there. Hive Mind. Why are people so excited about Hive Mind? Like, Hive Mind hasn't been good for years. Why is everybody all of a sudden freaking out about Hive Mind? I don't get it. If I Azusa, I play this. No, I guess I can't. Even if I find a bounce land, I can't do anything, so I'd rather play Dryad, I guess. Because it just leaves me in a better spot for next turn. Yakupov 97, think about the follow. Dismembers what my opponent's got over there. We can beat Dismember. So the proper sequencing here is obviously going to be this right here. We're going to bounce Growth Chamber, then we're going to play Azusa, then we're going to play Forest, and then play Semi-Growth Chamber. That way my opponent never gets priority. And we get to just lock him up right now. Here's Prime Time. We're going to be doing some hasting. Then we're gonna be doing some Ghost Quartering. My opponent bucks it in. If you Azusa, you could have found Ghost Quarter of the series and played it though, right? And then how do I win? How do I cast my Primeval Titan if I use my land drop to Ghost Quarter my opponent? I don't have mana to cast Titan if I get a Ghost Quarter instead of a bounce land. Can I just say, Sunhome, huge fan of this list today. Oh yeah, for sure, Octopus. Happy you're digging it. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it feels good to play Amulet again, and this is good old Amulet, you know? This is the Amulet that actually takes a little bit more of skill to play. And the one that's the most rewarding is not so... It's not the automatic Amulet that we have kind of slowly grown accustomed to. Turn 3 Karn. Thank you for the cheer stabs. Do you play 2 of each one drop because you don't know yet which one to fit in meta? Yes, that's correct, Gross Ruse. Attack with Plant, of course. Another Tron player here. Turn 3 Natty Tron. Want to see a Kami Garden attack so bad it hurts. Can you imagine if we draw like Stronghold off the top? That would be really funny. Liquid metal coating. So if this is all my opponent's got, we are probably okay. Because they destroy my semi-growth chamber and we just move on. We just play Karn and we're in fine shape. Green Tron again. Back-to-back mono green Tron. Memory game I won with triple amulet and 6 double sticking a plant for the win back in the day, yeah. You could, like, Kali would always deliver some pretty silly wins out of nowhere. It was pretty funny. Wormcoal engine. We get to block the worm, my opponent gets to plus on Karn. Plus on coding and Karn me and swing out the Karn for 2, but then we get to play a Susa, develop our mana. Hopefully get into a situation where, like, if we find any untapped land, we should be able to play the bridge and lock the Wormcoal. Worst case scenario, we get to replay Colony a couple of times. Sky Sovereign! Alright, my opponent wins this one. Best anti-Karn deck, yeah, I know. My opponent is the superior Karn deck. We gotta take our losses with pride. Opponent doesn't even have a boat emote. Can you believe that? Do they even have? Honestly, disappointing. Disappointing opponent. Maybe with Fields Van, it's a good idea to bring the sun home to allow another quick finish. What do you think? What? May not have a boat mode, but they have a boat. Yeah, but are they really boating the best possible way, you know? Good call. I never thought of playing the horn when opponent plays it. Gotta stay one step ahead of the meta, Stabs. One step ahead. Weak boat flex. Weak boat flex. Yo. Alright. Who are you calling weak? Why is Conley back in the day for? Expecting anything specific? I mean, why was Conley in the deck in the first place? It's because of all the aggro decks, right? Aggro decks rushing you and Liliana edicts, stuff like that. All of that stuff is still there. Why am I naming G here, Giant? All of that stuff still exists. So, for all of those same reasons. I kind of want to trade with that. The problem of doing that is that it costs me my turn. Honestly, it seems worth it. It seems worth it. Because next turn I'm just gonna Dryad plus land and Stacy. Dryad. Kami. Stacy. Rex Sage. Conley's in the deck because I have a pretty plant token and I want to flex. That's also good. That's a good reason too. Can see a downside from Conley back in the deck. I mean, it's not the best card ever, right? Happy Vans, yeah, sheeps. Happy Vans overall. So we do technically have 8 mana at the minimum as things stand right now. But our opponent also has a bunch of mana. Might jam in some Boros Garrison. Only one way to find out. What do you got, opponent? How am I 3 minutes ahead of my opponent? They have to be double queuing, right? Like, that's the only explanation. And by double queuing, I mean like eating or something like that. Maybe I'm not just limiting double queuing. Maybe dealing with their kid or. Ooh, start with the tier 1 sub. Welcome back. What am I eating? I mean, what was I eating? It was some called. I'm not eating a king. I'm eating what used to be some turkey fritters and with some lettuce. Opponent fetches for Ensnare Bridge. Green 2. Explore. Into another explore. Into a whiff. Attack Karn, attack them. Conley gives no heck about the bridge, exactly. My opponent is in Conley's Dominion right now. Guess if Warframe would be fired with the plant token. Yep. At one point, there was a little bit of a discussion between Kessie Wolfrun versus Sunhome and like the pros and cons of both of them. It's definitely interesting. What I would really like to know right now is why is my opponent taking forever to make every single fucking play? You're playing Tron, opponent. Come on. Keep up the pace. Take me back to the days where you had to walk uphill both ways in the snow, throw that Hornet Queen in the sideboard. Oh yeah. Can we run any manlands? Why would we? Acoustic Lime, think about the follow. Why 3 Tulare? Not enough with just 2. Good question. So the reason for playing more Tulare Wests is that the whole point. So my opponent's gonna. I guess it doesn't matter what they do. Like I just have force attack there. The idea is that you are. What am I trying to say here? Before you had Field of the Dead, so you could cut on Tulare West because chaining Titans wasn't as important. Now that is just not the case anymore. So we are in a situation where we kind of have to do something about it, you know. Interesting that they chose to kill the Stacy instead of choosing to kill the other guy. We kind of do get super owned by what's his name? Well, Ulamog for starters. Sundery Titan. Sure. This is not even that bad for us. If we top deck a Titan, we can still cast it. And if we top deck a Titan, we beat what my opponent's doing here. They should plus on Ensnare Bridge. Any thoughts on possibly turning late Jara Mirror Lake? So do you like win more cards? Because that's what Mirror Lake is, Savage Gaming. It's an unplayable win more card. Usually I like to build my decks to just be good by themselves. But Mirror Lake, it's awkward, it makes a mana that we don't care about too much, and it also doesn't help in matchups that are bad for us. I don't think I can afford to go Squatter. I think we just have to chain Titans here. That's the way that we win. Not that bad, loses 5 to 5 lands. Yeah, but that's what I was saying, right? Like, it's not enough. Like, we're still ahead. Like, my opponent needs to do something here or they're gonna lose. That's my point. You're one turn too late, boy. You're one turn too late. I'm very surprised to see that my opponent brought this to the main deck. Seems a lot better in their sideboard to be able to fetch with Karn. Opponent is throwing some haymakers in there though. No, they fetch for Incinerator Bridge and they fetch for Walking Ballista. They didn't fetch for this guy. Oh no, they did fetch. Oh, I guess they didn't fetch for Walking Ballista. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, so that's, yeah, this seems better in their sideboard than their main deck. Yeah, okay. So I was confused. I thought that they had fetched with the Ballista because they minused and then they played the Ballista, so I just assumed that that's what they fetched, but they only fetched twice. We attacked the first Karn, and this one also fetched once because we brought it down to 1. I can't believe how long my opponent takes to play this game. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna give them the lag check because this is kind of insane. Deck list not loading. What answers do you have to bridge? I'm looking at the deck list right now, right here. The answers that I have are killing my opponent with Valakut triggers with this Dryad, or killing Karn with Valakut triggers, or Force of Vigor, or my own Karn. I plus on this, it's a 3/3. I kill it with Valakut. It dies. Overwhelming Storm plant token. That's kind of cute, honestly. That's kind of cute. I kind of dig it. Why did it take my opponent forever to play their fucking turn? They had Karn in hand. Why? Why is my opponent taking forever? Please, chat. Why is my opponent taking forever? Why are they taking forever? Wow, that was... I feel like I was stolen. Somebody just stole 20 minutes of my time. That was such a waste. Wow. Jeez. Maybe they had to go to the... I mean, they took a full-on dump because they took forever to play that match. That was insane. That was so annoying. Playing literally the most brain-dead deck in the format. Not to say that it's brain-dead. I'm just saying that it's the most brain-dead deck in the format. Maybe Bolos is more brain-dead than Tron. I'm not sure. But like taking forever, and they're just like staring at an Ulamog on turn 4, and it's just like, should I play this? Or, just like, oh, come on. Just do it. Just kill me and let me move on to the next match. Jesus. Then he would concede after the Karn. I wanted to make sure they got the value out of their league. Because, I mean, sure, whatever. Whatever makes them happy. It's just so disrespectful, man. It's just so disrespectful to your opponent's time. It is. I don't know. It's just frustrating. But I'm trying to figure out if they can get the highest possible EV while winning this turn or next. It doesn't matter. That's my point. And it's not like, I mean, they have a bunch of just haymakers. Like, their plays are literally scripted. Their plays are literally scripted, and they take forever to execute them. It's just annoying. Do you ever consider it sped as trolling? Huh. Maybe. Am I getting God? Maybe I'm getting God. Really slow, so I don't queue into league play, but I think it would have taken that long. I don't think I don't think anybody could have taken that long. In the world. Anybody that's reasonable at playing the game would not have taken that long. That was just outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. I guess I'm pitching the breeding pool, because I'm going to be fetching next turn anyway, and I don't want a shock. Like, the only reasonable explanation is that, like, there are two explanations. They were ghosting, or they were double queuing, or like doing something else or whatever. But and both of them are frustrating scenarios. Okay. All right. Is it prime time? Maybe they were busy feeding their sick dog. Yeah, that's the other thing that would make sense. They're about to beat me. Me. They successfully beat me. So I guess remember when people played this deck? When people play this in their deck, those were the times. Three Azusa, bounce land, primetime, swing. Trying to figure out what the most efficient way to do this is. Because I would like to not have to fetch. So if I would like to not have to fetch, I have to go squatter myself. We attack, we prime time, we attack, we get Vesuva plus this. Then we attack and we get Kalni plus Fountain. Yeah, right? I guess we're gonna be at 5 anyway, so the difference between 5 and 4 is not that big of a deal. And if I do that, then I guess I still have to go squatter myself, never mind. Yeah, we just have to go squatter ourselves regardless. Three. Go squatter here. Yes. Forest. Titan mana. Post this. Pact. Prime time. Silva. Stronghold. This swing. We're gonna have to trade with the Incinerator. Come on, Kalni, let's go. Let's go, Kalni. Why fetch there instead of picking up the forest with Garrison? Did it just take damage for no reason? I might have messed that up actually. Yeah, you may be right. That was a bad block from my opponent. They should have taken it, I think. 2, 3, 4. Forest was stabbed. You could have to play that instead of playing fetch. Yep, you may be right. Castle and Azusa. Okay, I was gonna say maybe we can't afford to block with Asusa, but now that we're drawing another Asusa, I think we can. And I would like to not go down to 3 because we lose to any spell. If my opponent had had literally any other card instead of Chandra's Incinerator, we would have just died. Literally any other Born playable card would have killed me. But they're playing this Chandra's Incinerator version, which I think is just terrible. I don't understand what's the incentive to want to play that list. And now we're gonna get to Asusa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 mana. So I definitely have to copy Radiant Fountain here. We could copy just Boros Garrison. Because like it's not like Incinerator is gonna save me. I'm gonna have to go get Wormcoil with this. But we should be able to play Karn and minus on Worm next turn. So maybe that may be enough for me to win. Yeah. This also, I guess this allows me to play the Karn right now, actually, which seems a lot better. Don't see how basic mana kills me there. Damn it. And so I guess that we can actually Karn and plus an Amulet, so that way my opponent can't. We can just double chump both gobos. It's actually not looking bad. We die to Boros Charm off the top, but next turn we can minus for Worm. Yeah, next turn we just minus for Worm and we get to haste the Worm. So exactly, Boros Charm kills me, nothing else matters. Even Searing Blaze is not good enough. I guess technically what they could do is they could just like Rift Bolt the Karn twice. Or like Rift Bolt the Karn now and then like draw something else. Okay, sweet. Is there an argument for plus 1 your Amulet? Yeah, it's strictly the correct play. That's why I went for that. It is 100% the correct line to plus on my Amulet there. Another Karn. So I guess this block is free and this block is just fine. We go down to 2, then we go up to 8. Yep. Thoughts on the Bants? I've been talking about it all day, Xarine, so you can watch that on the YouTube later. Scott Metcalf, thank you for the follow. Gonna drop some wisdom here. It is Worm O'Clock. Pelakiwis, thank you for the follow. Imagine if Worm also were an 8/6 and it had both haste and vigilance. Feels like it would be playable. How is this version feeling versus the no Karn version? So far Karn has been kind of medium. It's been not so great in in the matchups that we have faced. I have not been a fan. Like I like the first list that we played a fair amount better. The only point of life that matters is the last one. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like the whole idea with Incinerator is kind of cute, but I don't think it's very good. Why does one cool even have that touch? I can count on one hand the times it's been relevant. I don't think I agree with that. I've used worms to trade with like 10/10 shadows and stuff like that. So no, it is actually pretty. It's been actually relevant sometimes. 6/7 goifs, same thing. The death touch in worm does matter. Might as well give it indestructible, yep. So it combos with the tokens that it makes when it dies. Is it time to bring in Hydra again? Oh, wow. Actually, House didn't bring up the Hydra today, so good. The funny thing is I actually have a Hydra playmat under my keyboard right now. So I'm constantly reminded of the Hydra. See? Sort of like regionals. Man, it's been about a year, because yeah, it was February from 2020 that I topated these regionals, and I got the invitation to the invitational, and then COVID. Nah. This hand is kind of interesting for sure, but like the fact that it's missing both a bounce land and a prime time. If instead of this we had a prime time, like if we had somewhere that we're going towards, I would keep that. But as is, we just have to ship it. This hand is just too slow. This hand is also too slow. This hand doesn't have a land. I mean, this is actually the best hand we've had so far. Are we just doing this? Like, yeah, I guess we're doing this. Really gotta hope this Gracer takes it home. Oh no, they don't even have a Gobo, so it can't draw me cards. Feels bad, man. Beast. I wonder if Primetime will ever get a hammer. It's a 6 mana card. It's a 6 mana card. Like if Primetime ever gets the hammer, I don't know if I want to play Magic anymore. Like that's just basically as far as I'll go. Like it would be so stupid if Primetime, like what is a format where Primetime gets the man hammer, right? Like what does that format look like? Imagine the nonsense. How do I feel about Mystic Sanctuary? I didn't know people were so against it. I thought with no Udo it wouldn't be bad because it would be harder to Cryptic Lock. Yes and no, Morgan. Like it's just too easy. It's too low cost for too much of an upside. That's I think the issue with Mystic Sanctuary. Like sometimes it's your opening hand and you just don't get it enters the battlefield tapped or whatever. Like that's not really a downside. Like it is technically a downside, but it's not a very real downside, right? Like it's not a big deal. You can play through it very, very easily. It's just too free. That is the argument, in my opinion. It's just way too free. It was going to be problematic sooner or later. Opponent didn't use their mana and didn't cycle, which is really weird. Near the edge, there's just so many fair things you can do that are on the path. On the par. Oh. Imagine if this had been a prime time instead of a bailout. I'm also just an enormous fan of putting Terminus back on top. Damn, you like to play dirty, huh? You like to play dirty. Yeah, again, like it was just too free. If it had any kind of like with entreat the angels even and like stuff like that, it's just non-existent cost, just too much. I can't beat any burn spell obviously, but Multu 3 didn't work out, chat. Saddens me to tell you that the Multu 3 did not work out. Is my opponent just not playing Eidolon? I think my opponent might just not be playing Eidolon straight up. In that case, I obviously don't want Reclamation Sage. The only major deck building restriction is it makes the deck soft to boil, but that's, in my opinion, not enough of a cost to justify it. Yes and no. I don't think that... I do think that Sanctuary decks could adapt to boil fairly easily. I didn't think it was that big of an issue, honestly. This sounds pretty good, though. I think I'm gonna go with turn 1 Stacy. But yeah, I'm also happy that the Mystic Sanctuary banning kind of unbanned a couple of cards that were just like strictly worse. So like Celestial Colonnade, Creeping Tar Pit, those kind of cards are just cool. They're just nice that you get to play with those cards. But the upside of Sanctuary was just so astronomically insane that because those cards made your Sanctuaries worse, they were just kind of unplayable. So yeah, I'm really happy to see it go, honestly. When people just running Glacier Fortress and whatnot and still running Sanctuary, yeah, people were doing that. It kind of sucks, but I do think that it was overall good. Snapcaster good at Bant too. That's true. That is true. Now, if you want to have a Snapcaster effect, you have to actually play the card Snapcaster Mage, which is just a sweet card. Before it was just, well, why would I play that if I can just play Snapcaster for free, right? Liliana too. Yeah, Liliana not so much. It definitely gets a lot better when she doesn't have to deal with Udo, right? When you're playing against the control deck and you plus your Liliana and you discard like an Assassin's Trophy or like a real card and your opponent discards an Uro, it's just like... I was smart enough to never play Liliana, so I have never experienced that, but being from the Uro side of things in that interaction, it felt very, very good. Sad you can tutor for your Snapcasters with your land. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more fair. It's time to go back to Innistrad Modern. I didn't play back in Innistrad, so I don't know. I like the cards that you're naming, though. Liliana wasn't a fan of Field either, that's also true. So we're gonna name, let's name Scout for value. We're bluffing having access to Tireless Tracker. Kyer Panzer, thank you for that follow. It's a Gobo. No blocks. Poor opponent. We have successfully shown my opponent the turn 2 kill. Wish Boomer Jen could make a comeback to the top again. I think that people are gonna try it, but it's just why didn't I play Primetime first? Because I could only make 5 mana. So Primetime costs 6 mana. 6 is more than 5. This is this doesn't say I'm so confused at so many levels. Like, I'm not just very confused. I'm just trying to figure out what could have gotten into somebody's brain in order to register madcap skills in Modern in 2021. Yeah, we can play Modern again. Yeah, I know, Jay. I know. Is that you, Jason, by the way? I don't often find you, don't often see you on stream. Oh, we're playing. We're playing against Return to Dust, who I always say is the person that put Green-White Reclaimer on the map. Why only 3 forests? Because there's only so much room. There's only so much room. Can you show? I usually catch you on YouTube, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's awesome to have you here, Jason. It's cool. Just post out. I'm gonna tell you. I saw your stream linked. Cool stuff. Oh yeah, sure. Care Panzer. Welcome to the stream for sure. What do we got here? My opponent got a Batter Skull. We can just coding right now, which I think is what I'm gonna do. Get the white source, so my opponent can't apparition. They're gonna get to play the Fire Skull here. The sickest of top decks. Kindly Garden confirmed, completely broken. Karn, great creator, true box, better than regular amulets. I've seen this go 5-0 with and without. They are good in different contexts. Care, Panzer. They have different pros and cons, and in different metagames, different versions of the deck are just better or worse. Ice Fang, okay. Okay. This is just fine because this enables us to transmute here, which sets up Titan for next turn. Now my opponent gets to kill the card. That's fine. We have we had two more, so we're kind of okay. Should I be doing that on upkeep instead of main facing? What do you mean? Coding? I can't plus if I don't main face it. I want to destroy the land. So I guess I only have one land drop here, so we're just gonna play this. One, two, three, four, five, six. Hey yo. Stronghold and we can't 20 my opponent here, unfortunately. I mean, we can, but like 20 in them is not enough, so I'd rather just make mana to Karn. Seems better. So let's do Stronghold plus Simic Growth. All we do here is we just float some Manases. We haste this bad boy. Then we bounce Garrison. Play Carno. Coding on. Yep. Opponents had enough. So Bant Blade is what Return to Dust is rocking right now. They go in activation so they can't float mana on your main phase. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing the combo phase. I guess it's technically correct what you're saying, Stabs. The thing is that, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna go for my draw step. Like, for example, if I hadn't done that, like, it forces my Karn to do something, and maybe I draw something that makes me want to change. So technically, I should be doing it on draw step, not an upkeep. That would be the technically correct place to be activating my coding. So on my own draw step is the correct place. Yeah. So it's likely my opponent has some counter magic of sorts. I guess they showed me field. Yeah, so I guess I kind of want to respect that. I'm gonna probably make changes for games 2 and 3. Colony Garden. Busted magic card. 169 viewers, nice. Yeah, nice, nice. Excellent. We've min max the coin activation timing. Hell yeah. You love to see it. This is gonna end up dealing me a reasonable amount of damage, but I think it's worth it. Like, we don't have that many. First of all, we don't have that many blue sources, and also we don't have that many basics against the deck that is playing. Let's play Path to Exile. Nice attack there. Playing tight here. Don't bounce my plant. No. I think I'm playing Dryad next turn, so I'm gonna bounce the Colony Garden. Rip plant. Yeah, I know. Feels bad, man. Don't quell me, bro. Don't tell me this is Cryptic Command. Is my opponent playing Cryptic Command in their deck? Oh, no. Brutal. We do get a plant, though. Okay, we're done here. We are good to go. We are good to go. Okay, so my opponent's not necessarily playing what I thought my opponent was playing. So let's reevaluate a little bit over here. Let's go with that. It's Bant Uru without Uru on Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, exactly. I like this hand, though. Opponent keeps 7. What a luck suck. Too bad that we're showing them the cavern straight up, but maybe we just have to drop this gal on turn 1 here. Am I resetting cavern here? I think so. But I'm probably not exposing the cavern. Punished. Punished. Most loyal garden ever. Yeah. Oh man, I missed a land drop. I missed an attack there. Good thing. Everything was calculated. Well, with me, I guess. Definitely okay with taking this trade here. Karn, please. Yeah, they changed Ice Van Quadro's border. It looks terrible. It really looks very, very bad. It's kind of frustrating, honestly. Things are not going well, chat. Please help. Please help, chat. Please help. I'm not playing around anything. Anything at all. Nothing is getting played around. Ashiok, no. Honestly, I kind of had grown a little bit. Like, with people just not playing any Ashioks at all. Definitely got a tad greedy here. Alright, Karn off the top. Nice and easy. Just the worst draw in the deck. Sounds good. I don't think I'm too excited about playing Beast Within in this list. What's up, Donnie? How's it going? Oh no, a 1-2! I can't attack into a 1-2. How can I ever beat a 1-2? Squire too strong. Alright. 2 and 3 with Karn. I was not impressed. I was not impressed. It just didn't feel like Karn was particularly lined up well against where the format is at in this right now metagame. So not a fan. Not a fan. I think I like the other version a little bit better. Also, we definitely have to make the change that I just did where I added one more copy of a bounce land in place of... Biting Needle? How were the earlier Amulet decks? I only played this version and I played this version. I 5-0'd with the first one and didn't do too well with the Karn version. This deck also needs work though, by the way. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video though. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.